Learn the language of business, learn how money works, learn about borrowing, learn about the true costs.
You have to find your passion. It's right here, in your heart.
If you want to help people overcome low income or poverty issues, you need multiple tools.
Learn to manage money or it will manage you.
Seed Winnipeg is a not-for-profit organization that opened its doors in 1993. Located in Winnipeg's North End, Seed's mission is to reduce poverty and assist in the renewal of inner-city communities.
Seed Winnipeg has affected the community in many positive ways. They assist low-income people to achieve their goals.
Seed Winnipeg, located right here in the North End, where we see some of the biggest impacts and where we can fill a gap around financial literacy. There they are, leaders bringing multiple people together, talking about how we can actually do this. And then what you're able to do then now is, because you're using education, you're building that self-confidence and self-esteem in young people.
What I see in Seed's future is the community really gets involved in celebrating what Seed has done.
Seed Winnipeg offers programs for business development, asset building, Aboriginal community collaborations, social work, and language support.
What I get out of volunteering with a nonprofit like Seed Winnipeg is it continues to identify the needs of the inner city and try to find a solution.
At Seed Winnipeg, many of our youth come from extreme poverty, where government agencies and workers control how money is handled. This program provides students with the skills they or their families have not been exposed to in the past. Money Stories, with Elder Teachings, presents the idea of a financially secure future, something many of the youth have not even considered.
In modern times, things have changed so much. We are so disconnected as communities from our communities.
When you have a community that does come from backgrounds of low income, it ripples into a lot of different other factors. Could be education, could be justice.
So many adults don't have that knowledge, and when we start buying homes or buying cars or buying computers and all these things, we feel out of control because we don't understand.
We don't realize that mommy and daddy takes care of us until we're like 18, 19, 20. And then we're set free. And then we have to pay for our own food. We have to pay for rent. We have to find a job. We have to pay taxes.
While you're still young, I would encourage people to try and be cautious. Only buy stuff with it that you're really going to be able to have the money to afford. Don't use a credit card to finance a lifestyle that you're not at a position to be able to pay for yet.
When you explain the principles of community economic development to elders, they see it. They get it. They know exactly what we're talking about, whereas with the kids, they're not quite, they didn't grow up the same way as we did.
The single biggest factor in my life, and it was the biggest barrier without question, was low socioeconomics, just not having the same opportunity because we were poor.
I did things when I was 17, 18 years old, and until I was 25, 26, 27, 28, I was still, dealing with the consequences of those things.
At our young age, we don't have a focus on our future yet. We don't realize that we will have children and that we kind of need a bank account to help our children.
It's not unusual for our young students or young people to know absolutely nothing about managing their money and what financial literacy is.
We don't get taught things like going to the bank and learning how to use your debit card versus a credit card.
Pay attention to your credit when you're young. Don't get a credit card and then max it out and don't pay it. That's going to come back and haunt you when you want to do something major in your life, like start a business, buy a home.
There's a lot of us who aren't completely wealthy growing up. I think that it's important for us to learn about all this stuff so that we can save up for something in our future so we can have a better future.
I think financial literacy is one of these things we don't talk enough about when we talk about overcoming poverty.
Money Stories delivers a customized money management training resource for Aboriginal youth, grounded in traditional stories and support from Aboriginal seniors. The Money Stories project is offered to all organizations with particular emphasis on Aboriginal community organizations.
The Money Stories helps the community by educating people on things that they should know and probably can't learn at home, because a lot of people don't know about managing money.
Building the confidence and self-esteem of people that are living in poverty through education. And the program that they're doing is they're taking elders, so they're adding a cultural component in, and they're providing another tool to provide to young people.
Part of the program is to get them thinking about how they're spending their money, where it's going, how money works.
It teaches them responsibility, and I think they could be role models for the children.
I know as a parent myself, that's one thing that I have struggled with, but the importance of setting some aside for a rainy day in case you may need it.
The earlier we start, without questions, the better it is. Then you improve access to financial institution. It adds so much. It's just a huge tool for young people to overcome and alleviate poverty.
You're looking at goals. It's more than just about money. It's about how to build a secure financial future.
Well, I've realized that no matter how much money you have, you've got to think positive and say, I've got to try to save if it's just a little bit.
SEED built a key partnership with the Aboriginal Seniors Resource Centre. The elders pointed out the need for Aboriginal youth to gain money management skills to ensure their future life success, and to help avoid the pitfalls that many seniors had experienced in their own financial journeys.
We wanted the program to be very positive with the elders' involvement, that they could really share their stories and restore hope.
We aim to learn from the wisdom of our elders, and not just from a Western-based approach, but from a traditional-based approach, which is what they brought to the table.
It's the old school way of oral history, of storytelling, and people really like that. People are really responding to that.
We are bringing together through this project generations that don't generally have a lot of time to sit down together anymore.
As Aboriginal community, we have such a high regard for our elders.
If there's anything that I come to tell them the stories, is to believe in themselves that they too can accomplish goals and possibilities and to fulfill their dreams.
They are the most generous people in our community. Maybe they can't write you big fat checks, but at the end of the day, you know what they do? They give up their time, and that means a lot, and they come and they share their wisdom and they share their experiences.
The addition of 5 junior facilitators, whom were all graduates of the program, helped redesign the curriculum based on what they learned in previous sessions. Training teams that included elders, junior facilitators, and SEED facilitators delivered workshops on budgeting, record keeping, community economic development, credit, banking, and more.
The junior facilitators played a really key role in making that curriculum really relatable for the youth in the community, because essentially it was peers training their peers.
They shared the knowledge. Now the youth who were learning the knowledge are now sharing that knowledge. And I see it as a back and forth sort of continuum.
Other young people can look at them and go, oh, man, he's got a bank account over there, and he's doing this, and he's talking about this, or she's doing this. Younger brothers and sisters see that, their peers see that, and it raises the level of confidence.
Working with the community youth was probably one of the most easiest things for me to do.
The #1 ingredient to building healthier, safer, stronger communities is by having role models, by showing others as examples. They've done it, and so can you.
Guided by the life experience of Aboriginal elders, Money Stories builds on the individual and collective strengths of Aboriginal youth to build strong personal financial management skills. Focusing on positive teachings and restoring hope, the training uses experiential, youth-focused activities.
In the Money Stories program, we learned the difference between assets and needs and all wants, how to budget your money.
Understand the importance of short-term, medium, and long-term goals. Have a vision for yourself.
One of the important parts of the money management training, I think, is reinforcing living within your means.
I usually budget my money if I'm getting a lot of money coming in and I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it, so I do use budgeting. That's something good that I learned.
How we put off till tomorrow what we really want to buy right now.
They're advertising to buy. We buy. We never seem to have a reserve. We spend every penny we have. We live from paycheck to paycheck.
Really learn the true cost of borrowing money. Payday lender or check cashing in the title is not a business that is going to be good for you to be involved with.
If you want something, save up for it. That's what the elders did. They don't use credit. So that's why it's helping to connect the elders to the youth so that they can teach them that.
You're never going to get anywhere in life if you're borrowing money at 60% interest. Same thing with a credit card. You're never going to get anywhere in life if you're borrowing money at 20% interest.
Seed Winnipeg is excited about Money Stories and its impact on Aboriginal youth. Continuing demand for the program in Aboriginal community organizations has demonstrated the need for culturally appropriate financial literacy training.
Everybody in my family, they're not really good with managing their money, and it was kind of hard for me to figure out what I wanted to do with my money, like how I wanted to save it, whether I wanted to save it or where I wanted it to go.
It's not going to stop at her. I just hope that this program runs to promote more young Aboriginal youth to participate.
It never can start too early, and we can all be facilitators of that knowledge. And the youth are learning skills that they can use throughout their life.
If you start a business, that is how you work your way up from the bottom and up through the ranks of society.
It's never too late to go back to school, because I did it in later years, and you have to learn to like school.
Successful grads were the ones who were getting a degree.
What is a budget?
You start to see improved access in the Assiniboine Credit Union, Median Credit Union, other nonprofit organizations, elders groups all coming together saying, you know what, we want to invest in the potential and possibility of our community.
The program, they teach me how to budget my money and how much money I put away each check, like every month.
I'm glad that they have programs like that in the city. This way I know they'll learn the skills they need for their life.
This is one life skill that's really lacking, especially among Aboriginal youth.
With many possibilities in its future, Money Stories will continue to train Aboriginal youth in money management, build employability skills, and provide positive role models for Aboriginal youth, now and for a long time to come.
I hope that they take away enough from the program that they can identify goals for themselves.
Every career is a choice that we make. And once you choose that passion, nobody can take it away from you.
We need to get to them as soon as possible, as young as possible, before they start to get involved in bad money stories.
Try to live within your means now. If possible, save money.
When you look through the lens of our community, you don't just see hardship, you don't just see challenge, you see potential, you see possibility, and you see hope.
Save your money, spend wisely, and plan for your future.
It's really important to try and find what your gift is, because that is almost always what you're most passionate about.
I do have money like set aside that is pretty cool. I think not a lot of people my age would have like savings. I have lots of savings because I've had like 3 jobs so far.
You're never too young to start saving, to understand money management, to understand how to budget for your future.
And you see the sparkle in their eye, they have hope.
Go out there, learn about money, learn about finance. Doing that will give you the freedom to pursue the things in life that are really important.
You've got to learn how to manage your money.
Use your gifts and talents that you've been given, apply them to your education, into your career, and your vision and your goals, and then your dreams will be fulfilled.
For more information, or if you're interested in supporting the Money Stories program, please contact Seed Winnipeg at seedwinnipeg.ca.